Alright gamers, this is going to be the next part of the tutorial. This is when, directly after Jack 3 fight, after you do the boat ride and you start in Osmia. I forget where you stand when you spawn, but anyway, right when you get up, you're just going to hold forward and sprint. And you're going to run down here. Make sure you strafe around this little piece of metal here. Get down as fast as possible. Crouch at a sweet spot. It's a little bit slow there, but whatever. And run straight to Ethan. While Ethan's body gets dragged away, you can walk behind this thing to get through the space a little bit quicker. So get like behind it like this, sprint through here, climb up here, and make sure that you walk into the center of this little platform here to get up as fast as possible, and then strafe and look directly into the vault door to start the animation for turning the wheel as fast as possible. So important things to note is that from the Jack 3 fight, you should have already stored your New Game Plus items for this section. I won't be getting the items out until I'm in the videotape, but you should have deleted the walking shoes last of your deleted items during the Jack 3 end phase of the fight. But for right now, this section is you it's all about just movement and getting up as quick as possible. Just know that the second stairs that you turn up to, there's those bodies on the stairwell. They'll block you. So make sure you remember that they're there. And then here, I look straight down when I'm sprinting, and right when my camera's about here, the bottom of my screen is like this, right for the helmet. As I'm walking forward, I turn around, and that triggers the flashback as soon as possible. During this section, right now, you're going to take the strange bottle, move it over, and then leave your cursor on this first slot so that you can use it for the fuse as well as setting up for the box when you get in the Mia tape. So right now I walk behind this guy and I spam F on this grate and I fall in. There is a there's a brief moment when right before the flashback ends where you can hit a confirm on the empty space even though there's nothing to confirm it on, and usually when you do it you get a quick fall into the thing. So right here you want to pause like midway through falling, or not even midway, it's pretty early on, but right now I just hit a checkpoint mid-air, and I can do a retry. Spam F. Like I was saying a couple of videos before, the amount of time it takes you to get back into the game after retrying is dependent on your computer and which retries you're doing. This one specifically is the longest retry in the game. So the reason why it's a good retry is because when you load back in, you're on the floor and you just start moving. Otherwise, when you fall through, you land and you have to do like the falling animation and then you get up. And it's pretty slow. But you should test this on your own to see if it's worth it for your computer or not, because if your computer's load times aren't fast enough, it may be faster to just not retry and eat the get up animation instead of sitting in the menu, because this one does take a while to do. So once you fall, you go down this hallway this way and just get through the doorway. Coming up, there's just like this little drop, and I'm not sure if other runners already know this. I kind of did it by accident one run. I've been trying to like redo it or like recreate it. I still haven't like sat down to practice it or like see if it's like consistent enough to do. But you can get yourself to drop very quickly instead of getting a slow fall. I don't know where my checkpoint was, so I'm just gonna try it once. If I get it, I get it. But usually what I do is I strafe around the body before the drop and I look into him really far and then hold my forward and my right keys as I'm falling off the ledge, and sometimes I drop really quickly. So I do it like this, and I didn't get it. So I got that slow drop. There's a variation where like you just drop instantly, and it saves a bit of time. Once you climb up the ladder, you're gonna go get the fuse immediately, and picking up this fuse can be pretty obnoxious because if you haven't already noticed, when you open up your inventory and you move your mouse, you can drag your mouse off of your screen. So if you're playing on a dual monitor setup like I am, you have to be careful not to drag your mouse off the screen and then click out. Because if you click out the screen, then you get stuck, right? So what happens is when you hit F on the fuses, it opens up the menu because the fuse has like an input menu. So you have to be careful. So when I sprint through, I kind of like, I click to confirm and then I right click to cancel. Do not spam F because you might accidentally get stuck in the menu. But here, input the fuse again. Make sure you only hit it twice so you don't open it back up. And then come up the stairs. So your inventory slot should still be on that first slot. You're going to pick up the tape and then put it in the VCR. So you want to walk a little bit further than the tape pickup range, so that way you can stand still and put it in the tape. So walk a little bit forward, look up, and then put it in the VCR. So now we'll be loading into the Mia tape section. This is basically just like a flashback, but you play it through watching the VHS tape. There are 2 skips in this, in the tape. They both have to do with the Allen calls. So I'm not gonna really make. I probably should just make a video for them. I'm not sure. They're not too hard to do. I could go over them pretty easily, so I'm just gonna do it really quickly. But for the sake of doing it under the impression that you're doing it as fast as possible, I recommend getting the shoes 100%. They will make the first Allen skip much easier. So the reason why you delete the shoes last during the Jack 3 fight is because they're going to be at the bottom of my inventory right now, or of the chest inventory. The second you get up, walk straight to the chest, open it from max range, and all you have to do is do left and up, and then get the shoes. So you open the chest. Whoops, my mistake. Let me just put everything back in, and then the shoes at the bottom. Okay, so open it, up left, grab the shoes, and then cancel. And you only want the shoes at this point, okay? So remember to only grab the shoes here. Turn around this corner, and the reason why the shoes are cool is because right here, when Mia looks at her phone, or the watch, you're gonna get movement speed, because usually you're slowed down while you're looking at the watch. But if you have the shoes on, you get movement speed. So there's a little bit of a time save there. And then you want to crouch through here and then open the doors immediately. What the skip does is you have to interact with the sludge and then leave the room before the call gets activated. And that'll allow you to do the Allen skip. So because, like I said before, when Mia's looking at her watch, not right now, but when she's looking at the watch, like she's forced to look at it, she gets slowed down. So having the walking shoes will allow you to move faster. So it'll allow you to interact and then make this distance quicker, or more easily rather. You can do it without the shoes, but it can be a bit finicky. So like if you don't have the shoes, I'd recommend trying to get as close as possible as you can, or to be as max distance as possible, hit it, and then immediately 180 out of the door. But if you have the shoes on, it's very easy to do, and I highly recommend to do it since it's pretty easy to set up as well. So you crawl through here, uncrouch, open the doors, hit it, and then 180. And then you've skipped the call. If you miss the call, you'll know because the call will start ringing and you won't be able to exit these doors. But for right now, that was a successful Allen skip. Then you're going to continue walking to the right, go through this door, ignore this guy, and walk through. As you're passing the elevator, you want to hit the button. And then as the elevator's coming up, you're going to go through to the room again, open the chest back up, and get the rest of your items. So you don't need everything, you just need really the saw, the Albert pistol, and then the infinite ammo. Enter here, and immediately right-click saw this guy's back right leg. Hit the button. The reason why you want to saw the leg is because if there's an enemy molded in the elevator with you, the elevator will not close the doors and then go down until either the enemy is outside of the elevator or he's done with his death animation. And by sawing off the leg, he dies immediately and there's no animation. So during this section, you have time to menu your items, and I'm going to take a little bit of time just because I'm explaining things. But the most important thing you want to do is you want to take the knife or the machine gun out of your top slot. Doesn't matter which one, just make sure that at least one of your weapon slots is free. So it could be like this, and then, so make sure that one of your weapon slots is free, and that your cursor is on the first available empty space. So even if my menu's messy like this, as long as I have an open space here or here, and my cursor is stayed here, you're good. So this guy usually doesn't hit you, but if you want to turn and shoot him real quickly, just to make sure, you can. This guy, you can just hug the left side of the screen and walk past him. If you miss shots like this, you won't get body blocked, but grab these bombs. Usually here I like to try to kill this guy before I get upstairs. But right now I'm going to be setting up what's called double D skip. This is a skip that myself and Distortion 2 found. Basically what happens is after you do this next part of the game, when you come up here, you'll be in a phone call with Alan again. And these doors will lock, and you will not be able to walk through them until the call is finished. But we figured out that, also this guy's pretty trolled that his body's still here, that if you place a bomb and blow it up, in the animation that you get when you stagger, you can actually interact with objects, which means that you can also open doors. So, for example, right, if I put down this bomb and the doors are closed, I can blow myself up, and during the stagger, open the door. So during the call, usually you're not allowed to use weapons or put your or open the door, but if you place a bomb down on your way there and then blow yourself during the call, you can open the door. And just to give you an example of how to space it, I'm just going to reload the checkpoint real quick and show you how I usually do it. This is, you can do this to like help you like see it and like really understand like the distance that you need to be, because the distance you have to be to get the good stagger is pretty precise. So what I usually do when I was practicing this is I put it on like the metal strip here, and I use the saw. So as long as the saw is like, the bomb is right at the side of the saw, not right clicked, but like just like holding it out like this. See how the leftmost part of the saw is touching the bomb? This distance will give you the good stagger. If you're too close to the bomb, it will knock you down like this, and this is bad. If you do that on the door, as you're getting up, you can still open it, but it will be slower than getting the stagger. And you can also risk putting yourself in critical HP. And if you fall into critical HP, you move slower than normally, and you will continue to do so until you either regen away from critical HP, which you'll do naturally over time, or until you heal. So with that in mind, the spacing that I decide, or the way that I do this is I line it up with these posts on the wall. So there's 3 posts. I don't count this first one, but like from the door opening, right? There's 1, 2, 3. You want to place the bomb along this line on the ground. And if you don't get it exact, you just have to keep in mind, right? Because the spacing that it is if I put it here on this line, I use the saw, just past this second post is when you want to explode the bomb. Okay, so as you're running through, you want to look down and try to get it as close to that 3rd post as possible, and then keep going. The default button to trigger a bomb is the R key, which is also reload. So keep in mind that there is no reason for you to reload anyway, but do not hit R prematurely and explode the bomb, because you cannot place the bomb during the call. So if you accidentally explode your bomb before you get there, you'll have to sit through the whole call. But after you open the shutter, you only need to grab 1 corrosive bottle, and like when I set up my menu before, it'll go into the empty space. So come to the door and try to get in like directly in front of it as close as possible to get the shortest animation, and then come through. So to progress through this area, you have to walk a certain distance behind this little wall. So if you look at the railings again, once I just past that first post, you can turn around and then exit the thing. You'll know if you hit it or not because Evie will be standing here. Open the door, and the call will start. And I think, like right now I can see, like my setup was pretty good, spacing wise. So right here, I hit it, and I can open the doors. So right now, from when I hit the doors to right now, is all time, that whole distance I traveled should not, or is distance that I should not have been able to travel because I opened the doors early with the bomb. So this is the time that is being saved by doing the strat. So once you get down here, shoot this crawler guy and then shoot this walking molded. Sometimes you can get past the both of them as long as you only kill one of them, but it's pretty easy to kill the both of them. Come through here, there's going to be a molded that comes out from the right side. You can headshot him pretty easily. And then as this guy's falling, if you shoot him in the head, you can get past him. Otherwise, just hold the left and walk around him. But you want to hit this button as fast as possible. You don't have to kill these guys to progress, but you have time anyway, so why not? And right now, you want to move your inventory space to the second slot. It doesn't matter if there's an item on there, but you want it in that slot for when you wake up or you get out of the tape. Hit the third floor button as quickly as possible, and then get up. And then kind of aim downwards for the animation on this elevator pole. If you aim like directly like at head level, you actually won't reach it. Once the doors open, spam F to climb up, and then turn left. Remember to keep as tight turns as possible. Get some door boost if you remember. And then headshot this guy as you turn the corner. And then make sure that you're parallel to the wall before doing this animation so you don't get a camera pull. Walk to the left and go up the stairs. Walk through here, walk through here. Open this, and then run straight to Alan. So, this part is, you can't skip this. Kind of just have to watch the, it's kind of like a cutscene type deal again. But, I'm just going to leave this in the video just because I don't feel like cutting this out. It's not so long, but something to keep in mind and remember is that coming up is going to be the one and only cutscene in the game that you can skip. The cutscene that plays immediately after the boat explosion is skippable. All you have to do is hit escape and then skip the cutscene. Like I said before, it's important to already have had your inventory menu to the second slot down, second slot to the right, or from the left. So as you're getting up, also make sure to hold right and walk around a little bit. Alan's body will body block you a bit. So you want to, if you just hold forward, you'll get stuck. So hold right, and once you go a little bit past him, then you can just hold forward again. Do not hit F on that laptop. You will get stuck and have to watch the beginning video call again. Here you have an extra bomb anyway, so you might as well do this. You place the bomb and then explode yourself forward. I did it pretty badly there, but the sooner you meet this guy, the sooner that the cutscene will start. But like optimally, you can only do it like so fast, and it doesn't save that much of time. You'll save probably between like 3 and like a couple more frames, but I mean, any time save is time save, right? So the second this screen starts pausing, I just skip, or the screen goes black. I start hitting escape slowly, and then once it opens, I just go up and then confirm to skip the cutscene. So now, the only item that we have in our inventory right now is the tissue samples. And it'll be in our first slot underneath our weapon slots. And our cursor will be selected on the second slot. Turn around, open this door immediately, and then strafe into the elevator and stand right in front of it to get the elevator animation as quickly as possible. And then head up the ladder. This is like the longest ladder in the game. So right now we're going to go get the lug wrench. And then our objective is to get the fuse and the power cable to get the elevator to work again. Strafe around that drop. Go forward. And down the stairs. And then turn right. Pick up the lug wrench. Exit. Door boost on the exit. Haha. And then like before with the elevator, make sure you're standing right in front of it before you open the door. And then you want to fall and like walk towards the grate. And right here you can like do things, but you can't put it in until you're like actually standing up. So stand up and then make sure that your slot is still here. And then hold right to fall into the grate. Turn left and then spam F to climb out. You want to grab this knife here and then head over here. So right here, there's a thing, I think we call it God Door. I used to call it God Door. It's not really too fancy. All you have to do to get this to work is make sure that you hit confirm on the door or hit F on the door as late as possible. So get as close to the door as possible before hitting F. Grab this corrosive and 180 out of the room. Okay. The reason why you want to do it that quickly is because if you don't, if you hit it too early, or if you touch the door and then open it, this will happen. If I open it too early and I grab the bottle, I 180 out, the door will close automatically before I can get out of it. So you want to confirm on the door or open the door as late as possible without touching the door. That way you can 180 after picking up the corrosive bottle and then leave immediately. I was just like, turned my brain off and was spamming because I was talking about it. So grab the knife, go over here, open the door as late as possible, corrosive 180, and then out. And then with the knife and strafing, you're going to break this box and then pick up the item. The item you picked up was a remote bomb. Do not use this during this section. You will be saving it for the end of the game. Come down the stairway, turn just a little bit to the right to pick up the fuse, and then continue walking forward. Block this guy's attack, and then walk down the hallway. Turn this corner, and like I said before, make sure you're parallel to the elevator. Do this animation. So right here, there's going to be a checkpoint while I'm getting up. This checkpoint is only going to save you time if you have fast load times, like I mentioned before. And make sure that you realize that when you hit the checkpoint, when you load in, you're not going to be looking at the ladder. The objective is to go up the ladder, but you're going to be facing here. So the second that you gain control, you have to turn and go up the ladder. If you do it slowly, you'll actually lose time, but if you have slow load times, don't do that anyway. Turn, make sure you're in the center of this opening. If you're like a little bit to the side, you won't go up, and it's kind of weird, so try to be as centered as possible. So like I said before, our item should be here, and it's on the corrosive. And the reason why you want it here is because usually you don't want any of your weapons, and this guy's in the way, but if you can reach the corrosive input when he's in front of you, and if you get it, it'll pull you past him, so you'll avoid taking damage or getting stuck by him. And then you're going to run down here. Turn in, and you're just going to go straight to the power cable as soon as possible. You do not have to worry about the bloater on his way. So make sure that you spam F on this, and then as you unscrew the second twist, back up a bit, grab it from max range, and you just run past the bloater. The only reason you pick up the knife is to break the box that has the bomb in it. There's literally, like, you can do this entire section without weapons. And if you don't have the knife, you just come back, or you get a different bomb. But the important part is that you get a bomb, and picking up the knife allows you to do this, I'd say easily, or more easy. And it's a little bit more consistent. So as you fall in here, you already have the parts that you have. The slots are power cable and then fuse. So our power cable is like here, and our fuse is there. So you want to go here, confirm, turn, and then go right, and then confirm. And make sure that you're aiming at the last button on the elevator. Spam it as soon as it opens, and then move your slot or your cursor to the top leftmost slot. Doesn't matter that if it's the knife or not, just make sure it's in that slot. Come down this hallway. So if you don't pick up the knife, and you've already realized, oh shoot, I forgot the knife. The one you pick up is right there. But if you already have the knife, you can continue this way. This guy has a bit of RNG that can be helpful. Otherwise, it's not too big of a deal. If he jumps back, you just run straight to the door. And if he decides to attack you, just strafe around him. So like he decided to attack there. As long as you strafe around him and then walk toward the door, he can't hit you. Otherwise, he'll like jump backwards and then you can just walk through the door. Don't hit this guy as he's waking up, otherwise he can hit you. Just walk into him until you wiggle out. And then this guy can either like, this guy is like really weird sometimes. He'll either like sprint out really fast and you can just walk past him, or like he'll walk slowly and you have to get around him. Because you have the knife, you have the option to go to the right of him and then break the box if you get stuck. Or you can strafe around on the left side. If I go like this, I got hit because I was like pausing and stuff. But if you get stuck here, you can break this box with the knife and then continue forward. Come down here, and then go to this right room. And there's going to be a pause retry here. Not on that checkpoint, but this next checkpoint. So as you get close here, you start doing pausing. And right when she says Ethan, like she says E, like right at the beginning of that, you get the checkpoint. You want to pause and retry and then start spamming F. And this will load you back in and skip the small amount of animation where she like goes up to where Ethan's trapped. So that's the end of the Mia section. I'm going to be cutting the video here, and then I'll be starting it when you gain control of Ethan. Just because this cutscene's really freaking long and it's not skippable. But I'll be leaving a video in the description on how to do the Allen skip and the double D skip. So thanks for watching, guys. And the next video will be the last video in the tutorial series. In the tutorial, yeah, whatever. GG, thanks for watching, gamers.